guys, we are making some Christmas flavoured gin today. We do this every year and we've done fruity ones, we've done berries and things like that, but this year we thought we would try and recreate the flavours of mince pies in gin form.
Are we coming across as total alcoholics because a lot of our content involves drinking?
It's the time of year, we can't help it.
Yeah, I'm sure it's the same for all of you, isn't it?
So we've got all the ingredients. We've been out to the shops this morning, got all the ingredients, and Rachel's just going to talk you through what we've bought.
Yes, so what you need if you are infusing gin, that's basically what it is. It's an infusion because we're not using any sugar and we're not heating the alcohol. So it's just literally popping stuff in and leaving it to infuse. So it's really, really simple. But one of the reasons why we're doing it this method is because you can leave it to the last minute. So depending on what you're using, you can do it in a few days or a week or whatever, and obviously we don't have that long now until Christmas.
No.
So the type of gin that you want, we've got this gin from Lidl's, it's called Finton's, and it's just their version of Gordon's. And the reason we've chosen that is because obviously you don't want to pay a lot of money for gin because you're about to stick a load of different flavours in it, so there's no point in buying an expensive gin. But also the more expensive gins tend to be more complex. They've already got some interesting infusions, and what you want is a basic gin that's just got, you know, your usual sort of botanicals of juniper berries and a bit of cardamom and basic grains. You don't want anything with particularly strong flavours because that's going to clash with whatever flavours you're adding. You also need to think about the types of flavours that are in the gin. So if it's, for instance, Hendrick's, which is a very cucumbery gin, that's going to suit really, really subtle flavours like lavender and, you know, really, really light notes of citrus, but you wouldn't want to put spices and stuff in it because they would clash. So bog standard gin is great. Now, because we're trying to recreate mince pies, we're just going to chuck a load of fruit and spices. And we've cheated a bit because we also found this in Lidl. So this is a bag of brandy soaked mixed fruit. So it's going to give us, it's got in there cherries, cranberries, apricots, candy, citrus peel, and it's all been soaked in brandy already. So that's going to bring out a lot of flavours of the fruit and mean that it's going to happen in half the time, but also it's got the orange peel and stuff in it already, which means we're going to get those citrus notes without having to put any fresh zest in, which you have to be careful because that can go bitter if you leave it in too long. And then spices, we've got a whole range. So
we've got some fresh cinnamon sticks. So these are just the edible ones. Those are fresh ones that we've got. It says they are Chinese, but cinnamon sticks are just cinnamon sticks.
It's just that they're budget ones. You can buy them in the little jars, or you can buy a big bag for the same price if you go to the World Food aisle. So top tip there. And then we're also going to be adding whole cloves, and we're going to be adding some whole cardamom, and we're going to be adding some whole nutmeg. And finally, just because we want that slight almondy flavour, we're going to add a tiny little bit of almond extract as well. So,
and the reason why they're whole, all of these spices, is so that we can take them out if we need to, isn't it? So
yeah, they go in for different lengths of time, and we'll talk you through exactly how long to leave all of them in for as we add them. But also, ground spices don't have as much flavour. The flavour fades on them a lot quicker. Whereas whole spices obviously
are more flavourful.
Yes, exactly.
Excellent.
So should we crack on?
Let's show them how to make it.
First things first, you're going to obviously need something to put your gin in. You can use big kilner jars, but ours are all being used for other things at the moment. So we're just using Tupperware, and because we're not adding sugar, we're not adding any fresh ingredients, then we don't need to worry about bacteria and stuff. So all we've done is wash them with hot soapy water and then give them a rinse with some boiling water, and that should be fine. And then what we're going to do is divide the ingredients between the two pots and then pour the gin in. Okay, so for each litre of gin, we're going to put in 2 cinnamon sticks. And some good ones. Then we're going to put in 1 whole nutmeg pod. Just need to find a couple that haven't already been grated. There we go. Ooh. And then I'm going to put 6 cardamom pods into each one. More for that one. There we go. And 10 cloves into each one. Okay, and then we're going to add a teaspoon of almond extract to each one. Almond extract is really, really strong. So even though it's a whole litre of gin, we don't want to put too much in. So I'm just going to put a teaspoon. It's just a subtle flavour that we want. And then finally, we're going to put in half the bag of these. Oh, that smell. That's just Christmas in a bag. Just amazing. I'm just going to put half.
They're quite boozy.
They are. Into each one. Oh, look, there's whole cherries in there.
Wow. Excellent. Maisie's come to say hello.
Hello, Maisie.
Maisie.
And then finally, the good bit, we need to put in the gin.
Yay!
So we may end up having to combine these because obviously they're not the same size container. So we'll see how we go.
Whoa, look, the good stuff's happening. Oh yeah, look. Perfect.
Fantastic.
Is it wrong that the gin in there doesn't look quite as impressive as the gin in there? Because that one looks full and that one is like, you've not put any gin in that one. What's going on?
Well, that's yours.
That's mine.
So even now it smells pretty good. Now just a couple notes about what we've put in there. The candied fruit can stay in there for as long as you like. You could leave that in for a month or longer, so you can feel free to just leave that. But there's two things in there that we don't want to be in there for too long. The cardamom, we put 6 cardamom pods in each one, and the whole nutmeg. If they're in for more than 24 hours, they might make the whole thing too strong. Gin already has quite a lot of cardamom in it, so we don't want to overdo that. And nutmeg, a whole pod of nutmeg is really, really strong. So we're going to take those out in 24 hours. But for the rest of it, we're going to pop a lid on, give it a good shake, and then every day as we're passing, we'll give it a good shake. And then it's a bit like any other cooking. We need to taste it and just check that the flavour's right. And as soon as it feels like the flavour's right, then we can decant it, sieve it, and put it into bottles.
And we keep it somewhere dark?
Yeah, somewhere dark is best, just so that you don't let the fruit start to ferment or anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's fine. So, time to do day 5 of our advent calendar. But before we do that, it's been another happy post day today.
Yay! We got a little card from our lovely friend Agnes, who came to the socialite soiree.
Love the card, by the way.
I know.
Gracias.
Gracias. And she sent us some little shortbread biscuits. And the reason for this is just to say it was lovely to meet us at the socialite soiree.
Yes, and to say a big thank you to Nikki, who kept tabs with her while she was struggling to get from Scotland. She was stranded at the airport. Nikki's very good at looking after people, even remotely by phone.
Yes.
So.
I just felt that she was making such an effort to come.
Yes.
And it was such an ordeal for her, and I was trying to keep her spirits up and make sure
she's very good at that.
She didn't turn around and go, oh well, I'll just go home, because that's what I would have done. So I really wanted to meet her, and it was lovely to meet you, Agnes. So thank you very much.
Thank you, and we cannot wait to tuck into these Demerara shortbreads.
And a beautiful tin. I'm having the tin.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. You were the one that looked after her the most, so that is fair enough. I will concede, but I will eat most of these.
Okay.
So should we open our advent calendar? It's your turn. It's an odd day.
Odd, and I'm very odd.
There we go.
Right, so day number 5. Oh, I got a little thin one today.
Excellent. Oh, don't open it too
soon.
Don't
open it too soon. So day number 5. Here we go. What's it going to be? Oh, we've got some embroidery threads.
Oh,
they're nice colours.
Yeah.
As well. So they're attached to the sawdust. So we've got some pink and some ginger and some grey.
That is the perfect colours to sew a cat.
A cat?
Yeah, if you were to embroider a little cat, he would be like ginger and grey with a little pink nose.
Oh, I was thinking the gingerbread man.
Oh, even better.
So yeah, there'll be something gingery happening with these.
Excellent.
That's lovely.
Hey everyone, so I finished putting my Christmas decorations up today, and I thought that I would give you a little look around my festive lounge, because there are so many trips down memory lane here with things that we have made in past classes. I know the light's going to be weird because it's very dark, but here we have a patchwork table runner. We have done about 6 different Christmas table runner classes, but this one is, I think, the second one that we did. It was all done with strips, has these little points on the end and little tassels. And the idea is that you can weight it so it hangs off the table. So that's there. And then moving over to my sofa, these cushions were made in a frantic hurry the other night because I realised I didn't like all the ones in my Christmas boxes. So the tartan ones are made from an old tablecloth, and they are backed with the fabric from my culottes, from our culottes off, my bright red ones. Then these burgundy knit ones, they are leftovers from my seamly cardigan that I made recently. And then these ones here with a bit of tartan trim, they are leftovers from my Pippi Pinafore. And then up here, this was my one and only attempt at Afghan crochet. So it's where you take 2 yarns and you crochet them at the same time with one big hook, and it's quite small, as you can see, but that's that's the most I ever managed. And then panning over here, we've got one of the Christmas present cushions that we did again this year at the school. We're about to put a downloadable PDF pattern online for you guys to be able to make your own. There are 2 variations, and this is one of them. And then up here, these little hand embroidered hanging decorations, we made those a couple of years ago. So there was a whole range. I've got Believe and Joy and the Snowflake, but there were lots and lots of other ones. And then coming over to my tree, there's lots of handmade decorations on here as well. Now, the tree was decorated by my kids, and I'm trying to be really, really good and not interfere as much as I want to rearrange it all, but I'm being good and not. They're so proud of it that I just want to leave them to it. So there's quite a few crochet decorations on here. This is a little crochet stocking that I did years ago. There's quite a few crochet baubles. I really like crochet baubles. This is a little polar bear. We made him a couple of years ago in class. And then this is one of my favourites here, this little gingerbread woman. I made her saucy and gave her a wink and some red lips. and there's lots of other ones on there, but I won't show you them all. Down here, waiting to be filled with presents, is a Santa sack that we made in class a couple of years ago. And then below the tree, we've got a patchwork tree skirt with pom-pom trim. That's another class make. And then this is one of my favourites. This little guy is from last year. We called him Jeff, and he's a standing reindeer. These were really, really popular. And were really quite tricky to make, and it was quite a stressful class, but we're very proud of him now that he's done. And Nikki's got a couple of those over at hers as well. Nikki's got most of these over at hers as well, I would imagine. Up at the window here, I have got, this is one of the many Christmas buntings that we've done. So this one was gingham and snowflakes, and then plain white fabrics, which we added felt, holly and buttons to. And there's little bells on the ends of the flags. So that's that one there. And then panning around to the rest of the room, here we've got, these are a couple more tartan cushions that I made the other night, but these are log cabin cushions that we made with Christmas fabrics a few years ago. So the idea was that you just use scraps in strips and you build this awesome log cabin design. Nikki takes care of all of those designs, so I just sew what I'm told, but I end up with something lovely at the end of it. And then over here, this is another crochet attempt. It's just a giant sort of granny square, so it's just red with a cream border. There's another present cushion here. And then up here we've got some more bunting from another Christmas class. This is a Hessian one with Noel appliqued on and some stars in tartan fabric. And then I'll just zoom in here on my little dresser to show you these little ones. I haven't got any nails up to put them on, so they're just sitting on the dresser at the moment, but these were little embroidery hoops where we made these little scenes, a snowman and a bird with some baubles and 2 little reindeers. And then I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I've missed. I've got some stocking bunting up here. That's another one. The idea with that one was you could make it as bunting, or you could put numbers on it. Turn that one round. You could put numbers on it and then make it as a little advent if you wanted to. And then over here, that's Nikki in the kitchen working on the computer. And then this was a heart garland. So this was scented, and they're hearts strung up with bay leaves and cinnamon sticks, and then they were scented with Christmas oils, and that's just hanging on there. So that's not everything, that's just everything that's in this room, but I just thought it might be nice for you to see a little bit of my homemade Christmas home with all the things that we've made at the sewing school over the years. Oops, and I nearly forgot the latest edition. This is Klaus, and he is a little elf doorstop, although I'm just going to use him as a decoration. He's got this lovely grey, stripy, pointy, grey star hat with a bell on the end, and he's made out of felt and fabric, and he's stuffed, and Nikki made him for me. But he is another one that's going to be a kit going, a PDF download going on our website very soon, if anybody else fancies making their own little elf decoration.